How could just 6,000 men take down the greatest army in ancient Greece in one morning? It sounds impossible, a mere whisper of legend. Yet in 371 BC, the unthinkable happened. This is the forgotten dramatic story of the Battle of Leuctra, a turning point where strategic brilliance redefined warfare and a military legend was born. After the brutal Peloponnesian War, Sparta emerged as the undisputed hegemon of Greece. They had crushed Athens, dismantled its empire, and forged a vast network of allies. Their Peloponnesian League commanded over 100,000 loyal troops, a seemingly invincible force. Sparta's military machine was the envy and terror of the ancient world. From birth, Spartan males were forged into an elite warrior class, their lives dedicated to the agoge, a rigorous system of training. They were disciplined, fearless, and believed themselves invincible. Their hoplite phalanx, a wall of bronze shields and iron-tipped spears, had dominated battlefields for centuries. No Greek city-state had ever truly humbled Sparta in a major land engagement. Their reputation was unblemished, their power absolute. Not everyone, however, was content to live under Sparta's iron heel. To the north, in Boeotia, the city of Thebes harbored its own ambitions. A proud and ancient city, Thebes chafed under Spartan dominance, yearning for regional autonomy. Tensions simmered, then boiled over. In 379 BC, Thebes made a bold, audacious move. They expelled the Spartan garrisons stationed within their walls. This act of defiance was a direct challenge to Spartan authority, a spark that would ignite a devastating conflict. Sparta, ever vigilant of its supremacy, could not let this affront stand. By 371 BC, they were ready to settle the score, to reassert their dominance with overwhelming force. The stage was set for a confrontation that would reshape the Hellenic world. King Cleombrotus I, leading a formidable army of 10,000 Spartan and allied troops, marched into Theban territory. This was no mere punitive expedition. It was a calculated move for strategic control. Their target, 5,000 hectares of rich farmland. This fertile land produced over 2,000 tons of barley annually, a vital resource. For Sparta, controlling this agricultural heartland meant food security, economic leverage, and undeniable power over the region. It was a move designed to cripple Thebes permanently. The Spartan army was a sight to behold. Their 9,000 hoplites, the core of their force, wore gleaming bronze armor and carried massive round shields. Each man was a product of lifelong training, moving as one deadly, disciplined unit. Thebes, though facing an existential threat, quickly rallied its forces. Their army, however, was significantly smaller, numbering only 6,000 hoplites. The odds seemed insurmountable, a classic David versus Goliath scenario. Yet Thebes possessed a secret weapon, not of steel but of intellect and unwavering courage. Their army was led by the brilliant and often underestimated General Epaminondas. He was a philosopher, a strategist, and a visionary who understood that traditional warfare would lead to certain defeat. Among his ranks was another unique asset, the Sacred Band of Thebes. This elite force of 300 warriors was composed of 150 pairs of male lovers, trained to fight side by side. Their bond was unbreakable, their loyalty absolute, making them fearless and incredibly effective in combat. Both armies converged near the village of Leuctra, on a wide, open plain in Boeotia. This terrain, seemingly perfect for a head-on phalanx battle, would soon become the canvas for a revolutionary military masterpiece. The Spartans established their camp nearby, a sprawling testament to their logistical might. 500 tents dotted the landscape, alongside 1,000 pack mules laden with supplies. They were prepared for a prolonged campaign, confident in their numerical superiority and their ability to grind down any resistance. The Thebans, though fewer in number, were not idle. Epaminondas, with meticulous precision, fortified their camp and studied every contour of the terrain. He was quietly preparing something no one had ever seen in Greek warfare, a radical departure from established norms. Most Greek battles followed a predictable, almost ritualistic pattern. Long lines of infantry would face off, with the strongest troops typically positioned on the right flank. This was due to the hoplite shield covering the man to the left, making the right flank the most vulnerable and therefore the most heavily reinforced. Epaminondas, however, dared to defy centuries of military tradition. He did the exact opposite. He stacked his left flank, the one facing the elite Spartan right, an astonishing 50 ranks deep. This created an unprecedented concentration of force, a battering ram of human might. On this heavily reinforced left flank, he placed his best warriors, including the indomitable Sacred Band. His right flank, by contrast, was intentionally left weak, only 4 ranks deep. This was a high-risk gamble, a calculated defiance of conventional wisdom. Epaminondas' strategy, later known as the oblique order, was revolutionary. It aimed to achieve a decisive local superiority at the critical point of impact. Instead of a head-on clash across the entire line, he sought to punch through the enemy's strongest point with overwhelming force. His plan was audacious. If the Theban left could break Sparta's elite right flank early, the entire Spartan line would be thrown into disarray. The weaker Theban right and center were instructed to refuse battle, to hold back, and avoid engaging the numerically superior Spartan center. This meant the battle would not be a symmetrical clash of phalanxes. It would be a focused, devastating assault on a single point, designed to shatter the enemy's morale and command structure. It was a testament to Epaminondas' analytical mind and his deep understanding of military psychology. On the morning of July 6, 371 BC, the two armies formed their lines. The Spartans stretched nearly 2 kilometers across the plain, their bronze shields glinting in the morning sun. Their elite troops, the Spartiates, were positioned on their right flank, confident in their numbers and their legendary prowess. They expected an easy victory, a swift reassertion of their dominance. Their confidence was palpable, their reputation seemingly unassailable. The Thebans, though fewer, stood firm, their resolve hardened by the knowledge of their innovative plan. At precisely 7 a.m., the first act of Epaminondas' drama unfolded. The Theban cavalry, numbering 1,000 horsemen, charged forward. They rained javelins upon the Spartan cavalry, a force traditionally considered superior. This initial cavalry engagement was more than a skirmish. It was a crucial tactical maneuver. The Theban horsemen, trained for aggressive action, quickly overwhelmed their Spartan counterparts. They killed 400 Spartan cavalrymen and drove the rest off the field in disarray. This early victory was pivotal. It denied the Spartans their cavalry screen, exposing their flanks and disrupting their battle formation. More importantly, it created a psychological advantage for the Thebans and sowed the first seeds of doubt in the Spartan ranks. The cavalry's success also cleared the ground for the main event, allowing Epaminondas' deep phalanx to advance unimpeded. It was a perfect example of combined arms tactics, where different military units work in concert to achieve a common objective. Then came the main clash, the moment of truth. The Theban left, a massive, tightly packed formation of 4,000 soldiers, smashed into the Spartan right. This was not a gentle push. It was a hammer blow, a concentrated force hitting a single point with devastating impact. Their massive 7-foot spears, longer than the traditional Spartan dory, hit like a wall, penetrating the Spartan lines with brutal efficiency. The sheer weight and depth of the Theban phalanx overwhelmed the Spartans, who were accustomed to fighting in shallower formations. The sacred band, positioned at the very front of this deep formation, fought with unparalleled ferocity. They used short swords in the close quarters combat, cutting down Spartans with ruthless precision. Their unbreakable bonds fueled their courage, making them an unstoppable force. Within just 20 minutes, the unthinkable occurred. 300 elite Spartan warriors lay dead, their legendary invincibility shattered. Among them was King Cleombrotus himself, struck down by a Theban spear. The death of their king sent shockwaves through the Spartan line. The loss of their commander, coupled with the unprecedented ferocity of the Theban assault, began to unravel the Spartan discipline. While the Spartan center managed to hold for a while, the momentum was gone. The Theban left continued to press, creating a deadly salient in the Spartan formation. Epaminondas's refused wing strategy now came into full effect. The Theban center and right, having held back, prevented the Spartans from outflanking them or engaging their full numbers. This allowed the Theban left to focus all its energy on breaking the Spartan right. The Thebans quickly pivoted their formation, pressing into the sides of the now disordered Spartan phalanx. Allied troops from Corinth and Phocis, witnessing the unprecedented collapse of the Spartan elite, panicked. Around 3,000 soldiers fled the battlefield, their morale shattered. By 10 a.m., just 3 hours after the first cavalry charge, it was all over. The Battle of Leuctra was a decisive Theban victory. 2,000 Spartans lay dead, a staggering number for a single engagement. Another 1,000 were captured, a humiliation almost unheard of for the proud Spartans. The rest were in full retreat, their legendary reputation for invincibility irrevocably tarnished. Thebes, against all odds, had only lost around 300 men. It was a tactical masterpiece, a testament to the power of innovation over tradition. The immediate aftermath of Leuctra was swift and telling. Thebes buried their fallen heroes in a ceremonial mound, a monument to their courage. They looted the battlefield, collecting thousands of shields, helmets, and tons of wheat the Spartans had abandoned. The 1,000 captured Spartans were ransomed for 2,000 silver talents, the equivalent of 50 tons of grain. For the first time in over a century, Sparta had lost a major land battle, and their unbeatable reputation was gone forever. The psychological blow was immense. Thebes quickly seized control of Boeotia, consolidating its regional power. But Epaminondas's ambitions extended further. He invaded the Peloponnese, striking at the very heart of Spartan power. His most devastating act was the liberation of 10,000 enslaved Messenians. The liberation of Messenia was a brutal blow to Sparta's economy and pride. The Messenians had been the helots, the agricultural backbone of the Spartan state. Their freedom crippled Sparta's labor force and its ability to sustain its warrior class. By 367 BC, most of Sparta's allies had abandoned them, seeing their former master as weak and vulnerable. Their army had shrunk, their grain supply dropped, and their grip on power was slipping fast. Sparta, once the undisputed leader of Greece, was now a shadow of its former self. Meanwhile, Theban tactics, particularly Epaminondas's oblique order, spread far and wide. His revolutionary approach to warfare influenced future military leaders, most notably Philip II of Macedon. Philip, a keen student of military strategy, would later teach those same methods to his son Alexander the Great. The Battle of Leuctra wasn't just a Theban victory. It fundamentally changed how wars were fought in the ancient world. It proved that strategy beats numbers, that brave ideas can break empires, and that even giants like Sparta can fall. Epaminondas's oblique order, his concentration of force at the decisive point, and his use of combined arms, cavalry and infantry working together, laid the groundwork for future military innovations. It marked a shift from rigid, symmetrical phalanx warfare to more dynamic, asymmetrical tactics. In the words of the ancient historian Xenophon, none believed Sparta could be humbled, yet Leuctra proved otherwise. This battle stands as a testament to human ingenuity, courage, and the enduring power of a brilliant mind to overcome overwhelming odds. It reminds us that history is not just a chronicle of events, but a dramatic narrative of human ambition, conflict, and transformation. Thanks for joining us on this epic journey through one of history's most underrated and strategically significant battles. If you found this deep dive into ancient military genius as captivating as we did, please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more untold stories of antiquity, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next historical exploration. Drop a comment below. Was Epaminondas a military genius, or just incredibly lucky? What other ancient battles do you think deserve more recognition? Share your thoughts and join the discussion. See you in the next episode of Great Battles of Antiquity.